Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another week and another episode at Double Dose of Raw Talk podcast. I am your host, Miss D, and thank you for actually tuning in to the second episode that I am releasing on this platform for this week. As you all may know by now, earlier on this week, I did release an episode on Monday with an amazing guest in reflection of what we have all been dealing with and experiencing for the past week or so. Actually, for many years. But if you haven't listened into that one, please feel free to listen in and listen to the conversation that needed to be had. There is still plenty of conversation going on many different platforms. And as a podcaster, why wouldn't we have said conversations here? With that being said, the episode you're actually tuning into right now was actually pre-recorded. It was done way before this occurred, to the extent that we are today. It is by no means to change the narrative of what we should continue to be talking about, but rather it is my hope that by you tuning into this episode, you can take something from it as well. This episode is once again with another guest, a very frequent guest, someone very dear to me. And of course, some of you tune into her podcast that she has with her crew, and can also relate to them as well. It is my hope that you guys can relate to the topics that we are discussing in this week's episode, be it about the self-care with the mind and body. As you guys know, this is Raw Talk here, so we keep everything raw, but also a reflection on relationships and friendships, timing meaning anything. And of course, in this past 3 months that we've been living so virtually, when is, the drawing the line of attention seekers when it comes to the virtual living we've been doing. So again, thank you again for tuning in to this week's episode, the second one. I appreciate all of your support. And please know, as I stated before, this platform is about us talking about it. Let's talk about it. Let's keep it raw and let's raw talk. If you guys have anything you want to share with me, please feel free to contact me. All of my contact information is in the show description, be it my IG handles or the email for the podcast as well. Please enjoy the show. All right, welcome back, everybody, to another week and another episode here, Double Dose of Raw Talk podcast. I am your host, Miss D, and as you guys know, for this month of May, I have taken it upon myself to introduce you to some of the baddest mamas in the game, with the theme of boss moms, hot mamas. And I mean, I know by the time you guys hear this, is going to be the first week of June, but who cares? Because mamas don't stop being mamas just because, the month of May ends. So with that being said, here I am. Third time's a charm. To all my faithful listeners, I have for you one of my best frequent guests ever, because she's always down to do this with me. My final mama feature, the one and only Captain Kim.
Thank you for having me back yet again, Daisy.
I'm
It
not gonna
is an
do a drum
honor.
roll. I'm clapping in the background. I'm laughing. I needed this laugh just now. All right, listen. I swear to you guys, it's not that her and I don't talk all the time. We do, but because we just know how this game works, we just always have a good time recording too. Captain Kim is a mama, but she is also in the pod industry, as you guys know. I want to definitely catch up with her, with you guys joining into the show, and reflect, because what is life if we don't take a moment to reflect, right? So here we are.
Absolutely.
It's my one woman show. Kim, I know you run a one woman show at home with the girls. I run a one woman show here, and I have a preteen.
Mm,
No, shit. Let me correct that before he corrects me. He's a teenager, guys. Let me put some respect on his age. He's a
please
teen.
do.
Jesus. And we work our jobs. We have responsibilities. We are management in our lives. How has it been for you so far? She's laughing, guys. She's giving me the look. She's laughing.
Oh, I'm about to jump ship, Daisy.
Y'all don't even understand.
It is, you know what? at the end of the day, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's amazing what we do as moms,
Yeah.
all moms.
Yeah.
And it's even more amazing for those of us that are doing it by ourselves
Mm. Mm.
because we somehow manage to get through the day and do it all over again,
Yeah.
the next and the next. And it's challenging,
Yeah.
especially now. It's definitely challenging, but I think it's something to be proud of.
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
proud mom.
Yeah, no, definitely we are. I think the proudest moment of our everyday, and correct me if I'm wrong, is the fact that we could go to sleep and reflect and say, all right, everybody's still breathing. We're all in one piece. And then we wake up to make
Yeah.
sure that that's the end of the same day, the next day. Um, I don't know if everyone understands, we take pride in our title. Yeah, we do it. There's always that misconception of, well, these are your children. It's not just that. Like nowadays, like there are special cases out there in the world. And so I always want to bring to the table, the ability to say, hey, you're a boss. You get that shit done. And we still could be honest and say, it's not always great, but we're here. We do it and we make it work. So for that, thank you for joining me. I of course won't, why wouldn't I feature Captain Kim on this? Duh. I would do a disservice to the pot industry to not do this. um
Uh,
no, for real. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, as you guys may have tuned in last week and heard my episode with Steffi Kiss, another boss mom, Hott Mama, we did shine some light on the fact that we did have a battle for 20 years of hip hop. We both participated. We both battled. Steffi won. So congratulations to Steffi.
so good.
It was pretty dope. It was pretty dope. It's so great to do it with just people that you mingle with and that you know. So it was pretty fun. But I wanted to bring that up because, as I said, we have our jobs. We are moms. We are in the pod industry. So there's recording episodes, everything that takes into the production piece of one single episode. And then on top of that, Captain Kim and her crew have been working effortlessly with the 20 years of hip hop battles. And there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that I know Captain Kim also takes care of. And so even in that essence, like y'all, when I tell you my excitement was so real with Kim battling, because Kim did battle, because on top of that, if she doesn't have enough on her table, she participates in these battles too, guys. The rules are you're supposed to vote the person's name. And so my dumbass voted not Kim,
With the K.
with a K.
With the K.
KUM. That's how excited I was about these battles, and especially Kim's battle. Kim, even with that, like just adding one more thing to the table, all the work that it takes behind the scenes, I definitely wanted you to shine light on that because there are viewers coming in, there are people who are participating, and it is a podcast community. Like, I definitely want them to just know how much goes into that part of the battle, the behind the scenes.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot. And we're a great team.
Mm-hmm.
We manage to divide things in a way where it works.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot of stuff that I do take care of when it comes to that because I feel like I'm kind of putting the little pieces together for everything, whether
Yeah.
it's a promo
Yeah.
or, making sure we're putting everything we need to on social media, sending the rules out to you guys. All those things are essential, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And girl, it's a lot
Yeah. Yeah. No,
because it's pieced together with the rest of my day.
yeah.
I'm still being a mom. I'm still, doing regular human things like grocery shopping, laundry, things like that. But, when you really love doing these things, and I'm going to tell you, I really love it.
Yeah.
And I may bitch sometimes to Booth or the guys about it, but at the end of the day, I really do enjoy this
Yeah.
podcast and everything we do and put into it. And
Yeah.
it's, when you see it paying off,
Yeah.
it's just that much more rewarding.
Yeah.
So,
And in essence, I think that's the important part is that we really love what we do. No matter
yeah.
which way it looks, no matter how it is that we put it out there, the delivery of it or the execution, we really love what we do. And I think just a little piece of what I know and what I've seen it just goes to show this does take a whole crew, and there's a lot of work put into it. And so again, I've spoken about the R&B battle, spoken about this battle, and I just wanted to definitely put out there a little light on the things that happen behind the scenes when you do have, this is, on your end, it's not just one person running the whole show. There's four people, and so everybody's input, but also everybody's part, takes the forefront to make it successful. And I've had a great time with it. It's definitely helped with the madness of being quarantined or not being able to go out to a lounge or to a bar or something like that. So it's definitely helped a lot, and something to look forward to do. So as you guys know, the battles continue. Make sure to keep tuning in. We are almost towards the end. By the time you listen to this, I think we would totally be at the last battles. So I hope you guys listened to me since last week and you've been able to continue enjoying. Now, I want to turn the tables a little bit because I don't know if you had heard my little solo episode 10, when I kicked off the month of May, and I talked about the importance of the mind and the body. And the reason why I did that is because, no secret, you guys should know by now, I'm very, very vocal on especially women just taking care of themselves in every sense and essence of the word. And so in the beginning of the month, we definitely shines light on the fact that it was mental health. It is Mental Health Awareness Month, and it's also Masturbation Month. And the reason why I say that is because that right there speaks the volumes of the mind and the body. I noticed something, and call me crazy, Kim, but I noticed something. I'm going to have a mom int of honesty. Yeah, not a moment, a mom int of honesty. I don't know if y'all noticed that the word mom has two M's in it.
It does.
M-O-M, M in the beginning, M at the end. Y'all, that's a sign. Because that right there tells me how important it is for us mamas to make sure our mental is great, our mental health, and that we masturbate at all times.
Ooh.
This is how I feel. I'm not even going to ease into this. I strongly just feel like that right there spoke volumes to me, and I just noticed it. I was like, wait a second. This is just full circle for me. Like I've been just advocating over and over again, the mind, the body, the mind, the body. This is how I cope with balance. And hold up, whoever created this word knew exactly what they were doing.
Genius. Definitely genius.
So genius. So genius. I appreciate whatever universal power decided that our name should be mom. And it's just encouraging the movement because I need that balance in my life and I need the advocacy for it too. And I wanted to throw that out there because I feel like we were onto something with this shit from episode 10 all the way till now. And, giving the recognition that it is, I had to put that shit out there. But more so, Kim, I wanted to share with you and of course the listeners, something that I was introduced to this week. There is a live I participated in. By participation, I mean I joined it and I read all the comments. And yeah, that's what I did. And this live, this person had a friend there whose name is Wendelin. And amen and praise to Wendelin. Wendelin actually introduced the people in the comments to a resource. And the resource is called Goddess Detox. There is an actual website. I will be posting it in the show description. And she was very much so advocating for Goddess Detox. You can find it at goddessdetox.org. Again, I will put the link in the show description. And the reason why she was advocating so hard for this is because at Goddess Detox, it is a company of products. They incorporate the indigenous spiritual practices of incorporating the herbs, healing energy with the user's intention, allowing for physical, spiritual, and emotional renewal. So basically what that is they advocate for self-love inspired products. Yes, you heard right. Self-love inspired products. And they have one of the things that she really vouched for was the Goddess Vaginal Detox Pearls. Now, yes, you see what I mean? I didn't know about this at all. I did not know.
I'm literally going to the website right now.
Yes. I did go and I did explore the website, and I was very intrigued with what I saw, how body positive it was for women.
Yeah.
Um, and then I never thought about it until that conversation where she noted like our bodies sometimes hold toxicity. Be it through energy, be it through sometimes, our off days, we may not eat such healthy stuff. And
Right.
then think of it, us as moms, everything we just recapped as moms, right? When do we really have time? You know what I mean? To really detox, if we want to
Yeah.
call it that. I couldn't not shout this out. Um, I'm also not going to lie because I'm very raw with it. I totally placed an order. Hopefully it will arrive soon.
I'm refraining from going through this website right now. I'm like, wait, I'm recording right now. Let me not look at this.
It just intrigued me so much because I never really, as much as I know and I'm in tune with myself and my body, I did not realize that our bodies in fact can retain,
Yes.
the call it toxicity of the earth, call it anything you want, but your body does speak to you, right? And so if we're
Mhm.
going to take care of it, if we're going to go through any healing process, any coping process, that in itself should definitely be part of it, the detoxing.
Yeah.
um I could not again go past this episode without sharing this news. It definitely took me through a little rabbit hole on that website, and I was just reading and I was just clicking and I was just like, oh my God. And with that being said, I noticed that they were sharing about the yoni egg exercises.
Yes.
Oh, so Kim is giving me the face like she knows what that is. Well, guess what, guys? I didn't. I actually did not know about the yoni egg. I never, Kim, never. What exactly do you know about it?
Okay, so the yoni egg exercises are like uh it's like doing Kegels with weight.
Okay, yes, that was my
So
understanding.
the physical side of it is to strengthen your pelvic floor and your
Mhm,
pelvic muscles, your
mhm,
vaginal muscles, all of that.
mhm,
That's what you use the eggs for, and it's a series of eggs in different sizes, right?
mhm, mhm.
And I think you're supposed to start with the largest egg
Yeah.
and work your way down to the smallest egg.
Okay. So I did research. That is exactly what I saw. One of the things I did read that the goal is to strengthen vaginal muscles and even increase orgasms, which is where the Kegels come into play.
Hmm.
So, y'all, I have a confession. I've never heard of this, but my dumb ass sometimes walks around with Benoit balls and I'm doing Kegels just for the heck of it.
Mm.
And when I compared the Benoit balls, because I do have them, I'm not going to bring them out during this recording, but when I compared them to the screen, to the yoni egg, I'm like, hold up a second. The yoni egg is probably way more effective than the Benoit balls. Because you're right, there are 3 stages to it. And it really, it's for the reinforcement of your entire body in a way. I didn't realize that. I didn't know. And this was my confession for this episode. I am 34 years old. I had no idea about this. I've been stuck to Benoit balls for God knows how long by now. And listen, the Benoit balls work for me because I am a firm believer with the Kegels. I am a firm believer with constantly strengthening. Again, the body speaks to you, and doing those exercises too. But I just had no idea. I felt like I was living under a rock, that I had no idea about the yoni egg. So that in itself was just like eye opening for me. And I'm so happy that Kim actually knows about this shit. It makes me feel a little better, because if I have more questions, I'm definitely going to ask her. All right. So this is where the mind and the body has been featured on today's episode. Because now that we have done this and we've educated everyone with our discoveries, well, mine more so than Kim's, we're going to go right into as raw as it gets segment. And as you guys know, this segment is where we discuss anything related to the news, controversies, culture shit, relationships, or even information we come across on social media. Now, Kim,
Yes,
I
B.
I, I came across something on social media. And correct me if I'm wrong if you've ever seen this, specifically with Instagram. You ever, scrolling, and suddenly there's like an ad and there's like a little flicking thing at the bottom that says shop now.
Yes, all the time.
Okay, all the time. Well,
All the time.
ladies and gentlemen, fell victim to it. And so this As Raw as It Gets segment, we are titling this We're Not Really Strangers meets Red Table Talk. There is a disclaimer for this. This is definitely considered a card game, but it's more so questions involved. No statements or questions or topics are off limits, either from the guest to the host or the host to the guest. I'm going to be honest as to what attracted me to this card game. The front page, well, the front ad was the actual notes that comes in the card, and I'm displaying it to Kim so she could see there was actually a little note. Okay. And one of the lines in there is, to build your own table, you need tools to help secure the foundation. And then the other sentence says, it's not about how long you've known a person. That part resonated with me. Because I think sometimes we do hold too tight to how long we know people. And this is something we've definitely dived into in previous episodes. With relationships of any kind. But also this just goes to show you that there's a lot of shit on social media that we just simply click on shop now and we purchase it and we go with it. So I'm going to use it today to the advantage of putting ourselves a little bit more out there in a sense. With some of these questions, I did show these questions already to Kim. Because we're both going to discuss this during this recording for you guys to get to know us a little bit more and to just maybe you guys might be interested to do this, maybe interested to do it with your friends, new friends, old friends, maybe your lovers. If you have more than one, no judgments. Maybe your spouses, if you also have more than one, no judgments. This might be a good activity because I think especially during times now of quarantine, again, reflection is key. And sometimes these questions, you don't think about them until they really come up. And so with this card game, there are 3 different levels. Level 1 is about perception. Level 2 is about connection. And level 3 is about reflection. And so we're going to dive right in. No, we are not drinking. And I'm going to tell you why. Because what's that saying? Drunken words are sober thoughts.
Yeah.
So I'm not answering these questions under any influence whatsoever. Just in case, guys.
Not this
time. Maybe Kim and I will do another never have I ever. I don't know. Not today. So the first question is, what do you think my love language is? And after Kim tells me what she thinks my love language is, I'm supposed to guess hers. But before we go there, I'm sure everyone knows the concept of a love language. It is on 5 areas: words of affirmation, quality time, physical touch, acts of service, and receiving gifts. So Kim, Captain Kim, knowing what you know of Miss D, what do you think, in your opinion, my love language is to the universe?
This was difficult for me. All right. At first I was like, wait, is she asking me this or about myself? And then I was like, I read it again, like 3 times. And I was like, okay, so I have to tell her what I think her love language is.
Yes.
And so I was sitting there pondering this question, Daisy.
I made her ponder. I know her drink. So like a goddamn Prosecco bottle, extra large. It's not even funny, I swear.
All right. So I can be completely off here, but I feel like you're a combination of acts of service.
Okay.
With quality time.
Amen.
Yeah.
So the reason why I say amen is because once upon a time I did actually take the test. There is an actual test for this. I will include that in the show description. My percentage on quality time is actually 26%. Now remember, this is 100% divided into 5 areas, so that is 26%. I am actually at 29% for words of affirmation. Acts of service is down to 18% for me.
Wow. Okay.
I surprised myself too. Trust me. I was like, holy shit, really? So I like, my highest is actually words of affirmation, and then it's definitely quality time. And when I read it, when I saw it, I was like, okay, this shit is pretty fucking accurate, because I am that type of a person. Like, I hold on to words so tight. So words of affirmation is like, it's like the key way to speak to me. And so is the quality time. The quality time, you hit it right on the nose. Like, don't give me shit. I'm all about the time spent. That's me 100%. So now I am supposed to guess Captain Kim's love language. And so I definitely put there for Captain Kim, I did put quality time, but I did put next to quality time for you physical touch. Those are the 2.
Those are completely accurate.
You see?
I've taken this test like 5,000 times. I'm like trying to con the system, and it's always the same, give or take 8% or 2.
I've tried to do the same shit 5 times. I fail every time. It's still the same thing. I don't know what I do wrong to try and change it.
It's so funny.
It's so ridiculous. But I try and do it too. So there's definitely, there's something fun in that. I think you definitely find out a lot about a person when you look at what their love language is, because again, the language of love, yes, we are talking about couples, let's say, but you can also just talk about that of each individual person. And
absolutely, yeah.
That is very reflective on any type of relationship that they may have with anybody. So I think that's amazing. And let me just plug that right in for all the mamas that are tuning in. There's actually a love language for teenagers. That is also a link I'm going to put and include into the show description for anyone who is interested. I will let you know when I sit down with my teenager and I do this shit. I have not yet. Yeah, not yet. Now, with perception, this is not a raw talk episode unless I put in my own freaking little twist. And so here goes my twist. Kim, did you know that there are actual sex languages also?
I did not.
You did not know.
I did not know that.
Neither did I. And I just discovered this shit and I'm flying with it as far as I can. So, apparently, there is a book out there. It's called 5 Sex Languages, written by Dr. Douglas Weiss. And the 5 sex languages are sex language 1, which is fun, sex language 2, which is desire, sex language 3, which is pleasure, sex language 4, which is patience, and sex language 5, which is acceptance and celebration. Now, fun is, the fun sex language. The person's pleasure is accentuated when you mix fun with sex. Okay, that's spontaneity, locations, and creativity. Desire falls more so. The desire sex language person's sexuality is heightened if they feel pursued and wanted. So they love planning sexual time and encounters, and their pleasures are really wanting them sexually. So it's all based on how much you desire the person. The pleasure.
I like both of these so far, by the way.
So far, Kim is.
I'm like checking both boxes.
Okay, so Kim is probably gonna end up with all 5, guys. We're just not even asking at this point. We're just gonna, just notate them for you guys. Number 3, pleasure. Is your partner's sex language is pleasure. They will want to learn how to please you. They want to experiment as to what gives the most pleasure during the sex act. They're exploring, and being explored takes sex to another level for this person. Number 4, patience. She just checked number 3. Number 4, patience. Slow it down, take your time, and a lot of time are some of the mantras of the patient's sex language. This person enjoys massages and gentleness before, during, and after sex. I just checked off several of those words. have no shame in this shit, I swear. Sex language number 5, as I said before, acceptance and celebration. The person who has an acceptance, celebration, sex language wants to know you accept and celebrate all who they are. During every phase of sex, they want you to appreciate all they are to you, not just their body or sexually. Being valued makes sex more satisfying for the person. Okay, so right now I think Dr. Wise is a piece of shit because he gave 5 sex languages and I could fit into all of them. This shit ain't right. I can't just identify with one. But if we had to pick one, Kim.
Just one.
Just one.
That's difficult.
It is, I know.
Okay, so off the bat, I'm gonna say the last one you said is not the most important to me.
Got it.
At all times. At all times.
Right.
Because sometimes you just wanna fuck to fuck, and it doesn't really have to be that deep, you know?
Right. You're right. I feel you 100%. I do. That's just too much acceptance right there. I don't need to be accepted. I just need you to fuck me and that's it.
We don't need to be accepted.
Just go for it.
We need to come.
With a K.
With a K.
Come with a K.
New spelling, guys. New spelling.
Jesus Christ. I can't. I swear that was a typo. I'm never gonna let it go. The whole comment was like, Daisy, you wild. I'm like, I didn't mean it. Oh man. I think I think you're right. The acceptance part, I think that's just a little too deep. I think you're right with that.
Yeah.
So kudos to process of elimination.
Those having moments is okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. But yeah, I don't need that all the time.
Yeah.
What was the first one again?
The first one was fun. So that's spontaneity, various locations, and creativity. 2 was desire. Pleasure. And 4 is patience. Patience was the one that got several checkoffs.
Seriously, how do you decide? I'm not answering this, Daisy. I can't give you a straight answer.
I respect your decision. I respect your decision because I'm a respectful person, but I'm gonna answer this shit. I'm gonna answer it because Dr. Douglas Wise did not tell me I just had to pick one. So I'm going to give you double the dose on my sex language. And I am going to say for me, I am a combination of pleasure and patience. I do like to have fun with spontaneity and various locations. Do not judge me. I've never been arrested. And I am very creative. Right. And I'm very creative. I take a lot of pride in my creativity with it as far as, what I define creativity to be. However, with the act of pleasing, it literally says if your partner's sex language is pleasure, they will want to learn how to please you. The reason why I picked that is because I am one who does enjoy pleasing my partner, but I absolutely am receptive and embrace someone who loves to please me. And that stimulates my want to please them even further. And with that being said, shout out to me on sex language number 4, because ask about me, I give some fucking great massage. I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that one. I love. This is where dead ass. I'm gonna give myself a round of applause too. Thank you, Kim. I have this theory that in the essence of pleasing, when you think of the mind and the body, right? When you think of just the human you are sharing this intimacy with, what does it cost you to give them a massage? What does it cost you to touch? I mean, you could touch them. Your mouth could go anywhere. Absolutely. But imagine all that it is if you touch them in all the other places and in the right way.
Yes, it should be a full body experience.
Full body experience. And once again, let me pat myself on the back. I absolutely go from head to toe. I take pride in that. So my combination is definitely the pleasure and the patience, because I embrace it when it's given to me and I absolutely stand by it. And that is what I give. So that is level 1 of perception. And the other little twisty questions I had was just to, the highlight the yes or the no's. So quick questions. Are we talkers during sex, Kim?
Yes, we are a little.
Okay, so we are little talkers. Are you are, I mean, is it safe to say you are bilingual, Kim?
Definitely.
I caught her off guard. It's important to know.
Of all the questions, why am I giggling?
It's important to know if when we are talkers, Kim, and you're bilingual, I need to know by which range you go from daddy to papi. Like, I need to know this.
You know what? Probably not as much as I should be.
Okay.
Put it
Okay. Okay. All right. I give you that. I'm not even gonna act like I'm a full-blown bilingual bitch, because I'm not. But I definitely have the equal. I balance out the number of daddies and poppies I say. So I find a balance in my bilingual existence. And that is as far as I go. Yeah. Jesus Christ, Daisy. Submissive or dominant?
Oh, it depends.
Depends. I'm with you on that.
Depends. I could be absolutely both.
You can.
Absolutely both.
Okay. But would you say that majority of the time, like, you find more like...
Majority of the time I'm submissive.
Majority of the time you're submissive. Okay. I discovered I used to be majority of the time dominant. And it's only recently that I discovered I am very much so submissive. And I have no shame in saying exactly when it happens. It happens when I am either restrained, and there are things being passed through my body, like chains, feathers, or claws. And I never knew how submissive I can be until I was under that state, and I got the whole body experience, because that one is a complete and total mind fuck.
Yeah.
It was a scary realization for me, to be honest, because I've always taken the pride in being the dominant. No, that's out the window. That's it. My weak spot has been discovered. Okay, so that was fun, guys, for perception. Level 2 with connection. There is a wild card in this card game. And the wild card says, ask me something you think is off limits. So Kim is going to ask me something that is completely off limits.
I have to ask you something that is off limits, or that I think is off limits.
Or that you think is off limits. And it could be about anything.
You know, that's difficult with you, Daisy, because you are very open.
Yeah, she's so right.
You're very open. So I don't know where your limit actually lies.
Yeah.
I
think a lot of people ask that question about me. I appreciate you putting that on the mic for me. For me.
Let me see. All right, I'm gonna ask you. God, I don't fucking know what to ask you, because I kind of want to stump you. But I feel like you're just gonna shoot an answer out at me. No matter what.
I mean, you might stump me. You never know. Listen, I am a person who raises a 13-year-old his entire life with one concept and one concept only. Don't knock it until you try it.
Got you. All right, I'm curious. I want to know, what's on your sex goal bucket list?
My sex
that you have, something that's still on your list that you haven't done yet.
My sex
or achieved yet.
I got achieved. Oh my gosh. That's actually a very good question. And I do feel slightly stumped, guys. My ultimate sex goal. If I had to focus it, considering my importance in patience and pleasure, I think, all right, so here goes raw talk. Ready? Here goes raw talk. I don't think I've ever actually had, when we talk about the full body experience, I don't think I've actually understood or discovered when people say you can actually, with that one person during that one session, you can actually get fucked and make love at the same time. And I don't think I've actually ever had that. And I've been married. And I've heard people talk about what that experience is like. I've heard people attest to it. And I actually don't think I've ever experienced that. And I think that's a goal for me. I think it's a goal to the point of...
I think that should be a goal for everyone.
Yeah, and it should be a goal for everyone. And I don't know if everyone actually does have that or has experienced it. And I want to own up to one piece of it. As open as I am, I don't really know if I've ever been in that comfort space to do so. If that makes any sense.
I think that's the number one component to it.
Yes. And I have no shame. I mean, thankfully, 34 years old, I happen to know people my age, women my age, who've never really known what it is until like the age of 30, 31, 32, what it is to have a real orgasm, let's say. I've had those, thank God. But there's certain experiences that it just does go a little deeper, and I don't think I've actually had that much of a deeper connection. So to be fair, damn, that was deep. That got me a little hot, guys. I'm not even gonna lie.
That was a great.
That was a little deep. That was a little deep. That's a great fucking question, Kim. You know what it is? It's just so... God, let me shut up. I just feel like it's so easy, like even with relationships, like it's easy to be intimate with people. It's easy to share intimacy. And if you're so lucky to have chemistry with someone, that's amazing, right? But there just comes a point where, two people, like this actual climax happens, that you lose yourself. And I do think, just fucking and making love overlaps. But I don't know if I've ever really had that full experience. So I don't know if people can actually attest and say, yeah, I did. Yeah. Okay. I want to know how that went. I'm not salty, guys. I'm just saying Kim just really put me in the hot seat. That was great. If I had to ask you something that I think is off limits, shit. I was talking so much shit, and I don't know if I have a question for her. Well, we're what? We're 35, right? 35, 36? Is that our age range?
How old am I? I'm 36.
All right, I'm 34. So we're 35. We're 35, guys. That's our new age. Kim and I are 35. We're both 35. So here we are at 35, right? Put aside for a second that we have children and take it all the way back 10 years. How different would we have done things?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I put aside our kids because, some people are like, how dare you regret having kids? So I'm just going to put them aside. Right. We know they're kids there. They're aside.
So, okay, when I was 25 years old, I was already married 4 years. We're putting kids aside. Yeah. I got married when I was 21.
Okay.
So that was probably the time in my life where I felt like I should have been exploring adulthood, living life, doing things. And I wasn't. I definitely wasn't. It was not a good time in my life. So I would have treated life way different. I would have put myself out there. I would have doubted myself less. I would have trusted my gut and my instincts. I would have, listened to the advice of my elders, And it's not just in reprimands, but in now's the time you should be doing this and doing that. And you think you have your whole life, but things happen and change and evolve so quickly that you do lose that time and the opportunity to really get to know yourself. And
I'm with you 100%. I am. I can't. This is why I said put the kids aside, because I agree with you. And it is a safe space to say that. We're human, but I think it's a realistic question. To throw the word mistake out the window and just say, if we could change anything, if we could have done something different, what would it have been? Because I don't think that I think that if we're not able to look back on what was then and where we are today, I don't think we would know how to figure out change and how to adjust to it when it happens. So I think that's very important. Thank you for sharing that. Because like I said, her and I talk all the time, and there's a lot of shit we don't have time to talk about because we have kids. She just let me in on a little bit more of herself. And for you guys, you just never know what is off limits to you, what is off limits to your people, and how that gets a little deeper for you guys to get to know each other. In level 2 connections, there is one more question. Well, more so like a statement. It says, in the spirit of 20 years of hip hop, sing, rap your favorite song lyrics you can think of off the top of your head.
You know what? I told myself that I was going to actually look up some fucking lyrics for this because I'm so bad. And then I forgot about it completely. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, we're also just so burnt out from music and hip hop and songs.
It is true. It is true. I have never listened to so much hip hop in this amount of time ever.
Word. First of all, it made me feel old. And second of all, it didn't make me feel old. And then second of all, I was feeling real like hardcore here. Like I was like, oh shit. I was like, I remember this song. I used to be, I was saying it with my chest.
Yeah.
Wow.
You have the whole bop going.
I was like, all right. I was trying to wear appropriate attire for myself, but sometimes it would work, sometimes it didn't, but I was in it. I was in it to the best of my abilities. I did want to say that one because, again, I think you can learn so much about someone with a song that resonates with them. So I'm not going to sing it or rap it. There's so many, I know. But please don't judge me when I tell you what my favorite songs are. If I had to sing any song to anyone that resonates with me deep down in my soul, it would be to sing it, Lauryn Hill X Factor, and to rap it, it would be the Rough Riders anthem. Don't judge me. Thanks.
I kind of want to hear you say the Rough Riders anthem, though.
Yo, my high school friends. One day you will. Watch. One day when outside opens here in New York City, we're going to go to one goddamn spot that's going to play the song, because what spot in New York City does not play that song? And y'all will see me go ham on it. But I can assure you, as my high school best friend, she has seen me multiple times go in on the song. But those just in those two names, you could just imagine how extreme I am from one end to the other. So those are my two top songs.
Wow. Both great songs.
Yes.
I feel you with the X Factor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say, goodness. A lot of people are probably not familiar with the artist Yuna.
Oh, I've heard.
All right.
I've heard.
So her entire 2012 album, y'all could have that.
No, she gave us an album.
Ooh. That resonates with me, yes.
Okay.
And do I want to throw something hardcore in there too?
I mean, you could, might as well. You are Brooklyn right now.
I am Brooklyn now.
I'm gonna need you to do it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Even though I'm Brooklyn, I always love Nas. So.
Oh yeah.
I could probably rap the whole Life's a Bitch to you. We'll do that another time.
Another time. I think Kim and I might one day just go do karaoke someday and kill this shit. Fun fact, guys. Last summer, I had the pleasure of going to see the legendary Mary J. Blige on tour with rapper Nas, and that man still looks good. But good choice. Good choice. And level 3, reflection. it's actually an interesting question, right? Because as you guys know, Captain Kim and I, we met early this year, very early this year in January.
Yeah.
It was one time meeting in person, and since then we've just been rocking out. And quarantine has killed our ability to drink during brunch. Um, so in level 3 reflections, the question is, what is your proudest? What are you proudest of me for?
Okay. So since I haven't known you physically for very long, even though it
Right.
doesn't feel like that,
Right.
um, I do know I kind of met you when you were on the cusp of
Mm,
of
mm,
podcasting. So I would
yes.
absolutely have to say that I
Mm,
am most proud to have been able to watch you launch,
oof.
stay consistent, and even chart in such a short amount of time.
Amen. Thank you. Oof. Damn. She just hit my soul again. Fuck. Yeah, I'm drinking a gallon of water a day, and I'm just gonna chug some water right now because that shit just like got me. It's
No,
you know.
but guys, you don't understand. Like, I don't know Daisy forever. We're
Mhm,
still learning. We just have a cool ass vibe.
mhm, mhm,
But like, I can see like the way that she works. Like, she works. She has a job. But the way that you work
mhm.
on your podcast, just being consistent. It's not perfect. I'm sure you have your days where,
Yeah.
you'll push it aside a little bit, but that's with everything. You need those mental breaks. But the
Mm,
way that you, as a one woman show,
mm,
manages to stay consistent
mm.
with everything and keep yourself going episode to episode is it's like crazy to me. It's crazy to me. Seriously.
I no,
I don't know if I could do that by myself.
I appreciate that so much. Because Kim knows there's days like I'm stuck. I don't know like where else this path is going. I think it was one day, maybe like 2 weeks ago, for personal reasons, I had a whole fucking meltdown, and Kim was victim to it. I like subjected this poor woman to my meltdown. It was not my proudest moment, guys, I swear, but it happened. And it's something that I always tell her I'm grateful for, because you know, joke it's a joke that I say, oh, I tried to have a staff meeting, but I don't have staff to have a meeting with when it comes to this show. So I don't always have someone to talk to. For me, because I do have to say it back to Kim, totally agree. Jesus Christ, if you think about it, what is this? It's June. We've only known each other like 6 months, and again, that's just meeting one time. And in what you've allowed me to see and what you've shared with me, I think both you and I are very protective of our spaces. So I'm very humbled that you've allowed me to see and to learn so much about you and your space. And I think one of the things I have to say I'm most proudest of you for is seeing your journey, both on a professional level within this industry. Um, you have a team where there are 3 males, and you have a team at home where there's 3 little girls, and you find this balance so classy, so effortlessly, so eloquently, um, and you take care of business. And for even a one woman show, and even a woman who just has one child, you're someone that I could look at and say, oh, well, fuck, maybe someday I could do that too, because she does it so smoothly. And oh, take a deep breath. I heard the whistle. I heard the whistle, and it's fine. It's okay, because, again, I think you are supposed to surround yourself with like-minded people, with strong people, with positive people. And that's definitely been the vibe that I've gotten from you. And yet I know you also show up, you show out, and you take care of business. And it's amazing to me how you're able to do that with so much resilience. And I think that's definitely one of the things I'm most proud of you for. So yeah,
Oh,
take it in,
I'm
girl.
gonna.
Take it in. We're going to need a bottle of wine after this.
Oh my God, Daisy. I haven't been with tissues to the studio.
Why I didn't want to drink,
From
guys, because had I
typically,
drank earlier, I probably would have started crying.
we're trying not to become alcoholics through
We're
this,
trying not to, guys. This has been the quarantine coping mechanism to drink. But yeah, I wanted to have that moment, and I really wanted to try out these cards, guys.
I love these
Again,
cards.
I love them too, and what really resonated for me with this was the fact that it said time means nothing when it comes to any relationship, friendships, with a lover, with whomever. Like it means nothing. There's so much, even with two people who've only known each other for such a small amount of time, to be able to connect. And you can learn so much. Sure, I mean, who doesn't love a game of spades? I'm always down for a game of spades. But even with something this small, it just really, when I looked at these questions, was like, fuck, I think this is important for every 30-year-old. Like from now on, anyone who turns 30 or 35, this is what I'm getting them as a gift. And
That
that is
makes sense,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, like it really made me think a lot, and reevaluate a lot of the relationships in my life. Because time means nothing. It really means the value really is in the connections you make with people. Um,
Absolutely.
and that's a beautiful thing to, whether it's a podcast being launched, working a 9 to 5, we're in times where people are frontliners, essential workers, all of that matters. All of that matters. And we're in tough times right now. So it's always nice to know that there's people who are there, who are seeing you, who are hearing you, and who are there to support you. Um, so that is the fun time we got just now with as raw as it gets. And I think we did get as raw as we can possibly get with some very intense questions. And I'm going to segue now into the segment of double or nothing. And as you guys know, this segment is either we go on a vent or on a rant, or we keep it raw and take another shot where we're having one more thing to say or have one last word with something that it's a topic of conversation. And Kim knows I've been a little present with this for what is it, like over a week? I think I had told you about my thought process with this. And so I definitely want Kim's take on this. Something of an observation that I've made, something that has not so much been a trigger, but just is kind of like, do we really want to go that route? There's been the verses, for example. There's been people hosting, panels on IG lives, interviews on IG lives. I was actually part of an interview for a group on Instagram for blended families. There's different podcasters, other podcasters going on IG live, interacting with their fans and whatnot. And something that I've made an observation with is sometimes people come in to these lives, possibly just don't pay mind to what the topic of conversation is. And they say things out of left field, say things sometimes that are out of pocket, say
Mm,
things that sometimes have nothing to do with. And so I'm struggling a little bit, but then it becomes a concern of them being attention seekers. And when possibly certain things that they say is not necessarily the right thing to say, or how they say it, or is it the right platform to say?
right.
Have you seen any of that? Like, have you seen it? Like, have you witnessed it? And help me understand this if you can, because I'm having a hard time.
All right. Of course, I've seen it. And I think that I think that it is inevitable because, a lot of attention seekers do go to social media.
Mm,
It's a place of almost immediate gratification if you're in need of someone to look at you, someone to validate you, someone just to talk back, you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
You go to social media, you go to Instagram,
yeah,
and being that we're in this quarantine and we're in this state where there are not a lot of other things to do than to be in your house and get on your phone. There's more people there. This is ripe ground for attention seekers.
yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like they're living in their glory right now.
yeah.
So
No, they are. They
it's so
are.
easy for them now. And so, yeah, it's gotten out of control.
Yeah, it's definitely been disgusting to witness. And I'm going to say disgusting. How much time just people have in their hands to create fake profiles, just to troll, just to go into lives, just to say the most out of pocket shit, the most inappropriate shit. And it's kind of like you're just there to pay attention to a person, to whatever their topic is, to whatever their purpose is. And so here just comes someone. And it's just like it's kind of like you got kind of like slapped, blindsided with that shit. And it's like, yo, like where the fuck did you come from with this? And then it sometimes just brings your whole mood down. Sometimes it's like, why was I even here again? Like
Right.
why did I
Right.
come into this
Right.
room? Like sometimes because of everything we're going through in the real world, sometimes an IG live can just be an escape just for fun. Regardless of who's in there, sometimes it's just to interact with people. And so I've really seen the attention seekers, a lot of them take it to a whole other level of trolling. It's just gotten very, very out of hand. And again, I've just been having a hard time with dealing with the attention seekers. I'm not gonna lie to you, in the last maybe 3 to 4 days. What day of the week is it? Saturday? I lost track already.
It is Saturday.
It is Saturday. Okay. I've kind of, retracted a little bit from joining too many lives. Because again, like just seeing all of that, it just comes off a little bit too negative. Um,
Yeah.
and this world has already a little too negative to my liking. So yeah, I wanted to rant a little bit about that. Is there anything that you've been doing to try to avoid that? Is there anything like that you've stuck to? I want to give a shout out to Captain Kim because the other day she actually did forward me a live that had very soothing and beautiful and calming music. And I was able to tune into it like at the right moment. It was so great. It was so great. The vibes were just so positive.
Yeah.
Um,
The funny thing is that live I sent you.
mm.
It's one of my neighbors. Someone that lives in my
Oh,
building, and he follows the Bustelos and Cigarillos podcast. And so,
oh,
we share studio space. So I don't know him at all.
oh.
And happened to be on the podcast page, and he started a live, and I was like, let me kind of get an idea of the type of music he does, because that's all I knew. And I was so glad I
Mhm,
went in there. He was talking some powerful stuff about, the environment we're in right now with these protests and the
mm.
riots and things that are going on.
It did.
And he wanted to share something musically
Mm.
um, that he was creating, and he just let it out layer by layer,
It did.
all those sounds. It was just like
It was
I walked
beautiful.
out of there, like I just walked out of like I'm just so grateful that like the timing of that,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
it was perfect.
It
Yeah.
was perfect. It was so perfect. And the thing is he was just so soft spoken too. He was
Yeah.
just so centered and so focused.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we're even able to discuss like how it was in a moment of something musically that was able to just bring peace. Because again, this is why I started this conversation of how much work goes into, something as much as 20 years of hip hop, something as small as R&B battle, or even the verses that we're witnessing. It was my entire soul that was spoken to seeing Erica Badu and Jill Scott.
Oh
And
my
then
God.
my
Yeah.
hips and my legs were all over the ground when, it was all Jamaica blowing it the fuck up and turning it up. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it's just so beautiful. Like even in the comments, when you see that, like, see, this is where we don't need trolls. Look at how everybody comes
Right.
together. Look at how everybody just enjoys like this entire vibe of music. And
Yeah.
I don't think people understand like just how much power not everybody, has that love for music. Hence, although we didn't sing or rap, hence the question when it comes to connection, level 2 of the card game, sing or
Yeah.
rap your favorite song lyrics. Like imagine how much comes into connection between two people just in a song. And again, it
Right.
doesn't just have to
You know
be
what?
your lover.
Yeah. And I always felt like, to me, I always kept music to myself because it was for me. And I always felt like this hint of like hesitation sharing a song with somebody, because I
Yep.
would legit get upset if I send you a song, you're not feeling it the way I'm feeling it.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
well, screw you then.
Yeah.
You know, it's my music. I'm like, let this be the last time I share a song with you.
I'm not letting you in on my gems.
Yeah, I just feel like music is something that's so personal for people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every song resonates with someone differently. So
Yes.
Sharing with somebody else is, it's being vulnerable almost.
Yes. And again, I wanted to bring that out there also. And again, I'm referencing back to all my moms who are tuning in, or anyone who knows of a mom. Music is also something that I share very deep with my child. Till this day, and from day one that he could walk and talk, we didn't need to have a conversation. If I would just start blasting music, it's something that I grew up with, and it's something that I continued with him. And it didn't matter what song it was. If I would tell him come and dance, he would just come and dance and just go crazy with me.
Oh,
You
that's so
know,
sweet.
yeah, and we still do that sometimes. You know what I mean? Because again, like I just feel like with the essence of music, there's just so much unity in it, and we're not turning a blind eye to what, right now when we're recording, there's a lot going on in our city. There's a lot going on in many cities in this country. We're not going to turn a blind eye to what's going on, but in an essence of finding peace, even if it is in your home just for a quick second while trying to be okay for everyone and anyone, definitely turn to music. Don't pay mind to the attention seekers. Don't pay mind to the trolls, regardless of what the topic is in any IG live or in any platform that you're going in to tune in, to learn, to engage with. Because there's always going to be someone who is probably having a greater struggle to say, and I'm trying to be very understanding with this, because I'm not a fan of it at all, and I have an issue with it, that they find a pleasure or satisfaction
Yeah.
in this,
Yeah.
and it kills the whole vibe and the whole mood for the rest of the world per se. You know what I mean? So yeah, this was very much so an episode where I wanted to reflect a shitload with you guys. Definitely have an opportunity for you guys to get to know me further, and of course my very frequent guest. And y'all just gonna keep hearing about her because she has, of course, her own pod with her own crew, and she's always just gonna come by here, and that's it because I said so. Uh, yeah. And I do want to take a moment to thank Captain Kim for joining me on this week's episode. Again, there's been a lot of interactions with us on a professional level, of course, too. And it's gonna keep going. I know in the horizon there's more collaborations coming. But
Definitely.
absolutely. Again, surround yourselves with like-minded people and strong and positive. That's how you keep pushing. There is a community for this, and yeah, I hope you guys did have a good time getting to know us a little bit more. I hope you guys are prompted to use some of these questions. And if you guys are interested in this little card game that I'm so holding tight to, I'm going to definitely put the information in the show description for you guys. And of course, the sex language information, and of course, the love language information. So y'all can all take tests and be shocked yourselves. And as you guys know, thank you so much for tuning in once again, another week and another episode here at Double Dose of RAWTALK podcast. It's been real, guys. Thank you so much, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.